Hey y'all, Erin here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a homeschool mama to 3 little ones. I have a 3rd grader, a kindergartner, and a preschooler this year. So today's video is going to be about our first month of school, what we were using and how it went, and let's get started. All right, first of all, for 3rd grade, we are using My Father's World, Exploring Countries and Cultures. So I have now been using My Father's World with my oldest son, Timothy, for kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, and now 3rd grade. And I say this all the time, we love it. It's just going great. Each year builds upon the last, and I love how they incorporate everything so smoothly together. So this year is, the first 2 weeks were lots of map work, and then we started moving into the countries, and we started with the United States. So that was a great start because we focused on United States history last year. Okay, so for 3rd grade, I just used a binder, and I have the binder organized by tabs, and we're gonna be doing our studies by continent, so that's how I did my dividers. Then going into my absolutely favorite part of this 3rd grade curriculum so far is their Bible things that they have included. The first thing we read is God Speaks Numangang, and this was wonderful because it shows how important it is to get the Bible translated in different languages. So loved this supplement. The next thing I love is, this is called Hero Tales, and we use this throughout the year, and it short stories about Bible people who are on fire for the Lord and are missionaries all around the world, so love it. The next one is probably, again, this whole section is my favorite, but Window on the World is a fabulous resource. It talks about the country you're studying about and their culture, different things about their life, where they live, what they wear, what they're going through, and then my favorite part is how you can pray for them, so I love this book. And then this is our current read aloud, and this is called Kingdom Tales, and the stories are so powerful, sometimes I will even get choked up. But they put the stories in a way for children to see the biblical issues lived out, so I love this book. All right, for math this year, we are using the Good and the Beautiful Level 3, and I did not know this, so maybe you didn't know this, but this math includes a ton of geography, which is our focus this year. So I absolutely love this math program this year for our particular exploring countries and cultures. So our first few weeks, we were in China, and they include math problems that have stories and history and geography and facts about China in there. So that was really cool. I love this. This works really well for Timothy, so we're enjoying math. We are continuing on with language lessons, the My Father's World resource, and if you've seen my other videos, they are very Charlotte Mason style, which is a lot of short but sweet, to the point lessons. They are poetry, they're picture studies, they're grammar, they're narration, they are all sorts of good things that I'm enjoying. We have this handwriting book that we've been using this year, and we're going to eventually be going into cursive, but it starts out by using just practicing handwriting, and it's going great. Love it. For science this year, we're doing ecosystems. So this is one of our science books. We use this a few times a week. We use, so Properties of Ecosystems, and this one is Living World Encyclopedia. So we kind of go back and forth with these 2 books throughout the week, and they're both fabulous. I love that the science and the geography match up so well. So the country that we're learning about is also the ecosystem that we're learning about. So these are the 2 main science books, and then this is used as sort of like a read aloud, sort of like there's coloring pages, all sorts of crossword puzzles, word finds, different sort of activities that they can do while I'm reading, and this book has worked out perfectly for us. I love it. Okay, and then for geography, all about maps this year. So this book we used a lot the first 2 weeks as we're getting into the map work, and then this book, love, 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 love. This is the Children's Atlas of God's World. These pages are so big, colorful, full of great information, and of course it's always got an emphasis on this is God's world, and I can't love that more. So wonderful program this year. We're 1 month in. A lot of people talk about the passport and traveling and stuff. When I've watched other videos, we're going to be getting into that next month, so stay tuned. The passport is a lot of fun. I'll talk about that soon. For read alouds this year for Timothy, for his co-op, he is in a Chronicles of Narnia book club, and so we're reading them together at home, and both of us just love it. I cannot believe it, but I've never read the Chronicles of Narnia books before, and we are both really, really enjoying that. So we're about halfway through now, and I think we're both, looking forward to reading all the books. Okay, so that was it for Timothy. For my kindergartner Evie, we are, of course, using My Father's World, God Creation from A to Z. So I did this with Timothy just 3 years ago, so it's still pretty fresh in my memory. Love this kindergarten program. Same thing with Timothy. I have just used a binder, and I just kind of put in all of the work that they're doing throughout the year, so it's just all organized and put together. So for the kindergarten program, it starts out with the 2 weeks for creation, which I love because it was actually kind of a very gentle start to the year. And with my son, my older son and my younger son, it was good to have a gentle start for kindergarten. And I love doing creation with her. I think it was a good refresher for her, and it kind of slowly but gently got us going into the school year. And then all the following weeks after that is one letter of the week with a thing to remember. For instance, S is for sun and M is for moon, and then we read different books on that and the different things they have. So this book we use a lot. This is God's Amazing World from Apples to Zebras, and it's a My Father's World resource, and we start the week out with this book every Monday, and then we can go back to it, and it's just perfect. It has a scripture, it has a little information to read, and then it has something like this: I am the light of the world. So how can we apply what we're learning about to our lives? So for the 2 read alouds that we did for that was Moon Bear Shadow and a story out of Little Bear. And I have tons and tons and tons of books already at home. It would take too long to show all the books that we read, but I used the back of the teacher's manual for other books that go with the unit we're learning about, and that's one of my favorite things. If you're more interested in that, go back and look some of the videos I did when Timothy was in kindergarten, because I share a lot of the books that we did. Okay, moving on to my third little one is Titus. And so for Titus, we are doing all aboard the animal train. I did this with Evie 2 years ago, so again, this is really fresh in my memory. And for him, although school was not a requirement or anything, he was ecstatic when I told him it was his turn to do school time. He's been seeing now for years Timothy having one-on-one time doing school time. He's been seeing Evie doing school time, and he just felt so proud. He held his head up so high when it was his turn to do his school time with me. As you guys know, for 3-year-olds, it's all about keeping it fun, keeping learning enjoyable and exciting and new. But my favorite thing from this one is this book. This is called The First Virtues Books, 12 Stories for Toddlers. They're short and simple, but sweet messages. They're rhyming. And so for each unit, there's a different animal, and they're learning different things. So we've done rabbit and love, and we've done lion and sharing. So I just love it. It's beautiful, sweet, and simple, but very, very fun. As the other two, I just use a binder. I've already put all of his work in here. I have organized it by unit, so I just have his work in there, so whenever we're on a particular unit, then I could just flip to that page, pull it out as we need. Okay, so that is what we're doing with my kiddos this year as far as at home. We're doing a few extracurriculars this year, so that's kind of fun. We're doing a co-op this year. We did it when we lived at our previous place, and it worked out great, so I found one this year, and we're loving that so far. And then we're also doing Awana, which we did that last year, so that's a great biblical-based program, lots of scripture, lots of discipleship and evangelism and fun and games, and so we're enjoying Awana. And then we're also doing swim lessons this year, and so I don't know if you knew this about me, but I used to be a competitive swimmer. Grew up swimming in the summer since I was 9, a competitive swimmer in high school. I was a captain of my swim team my junior and senior year. coached swimming for years, taught swim lessons, lifeguarded all throughout college. So it's very special that my kids are now doing this, and it took a while to get into it, but they are all three of them thriving in swim lessons. So that's very fun and exciting for me. Okay, and then I want to end the video on what I'm reading. So 2 books I just love, and I would encourage you, if you haven't read these yet, to check these out. The first one is called Mom Heart Moments by Sally Clarkson, and it is a devotion for each day of the year. Very encouraging. She was a homeschool mama, so they're short and simple, but they really dig deep in those heart moments and encouraging you what you're doing. Really love this one. And I just started reading this one, and it's called Hard is Not the Same Thing as Bad. And it is so good. The idea of hard is not the same thing as bad really is resonating with me. And I noticed it this year too. I think myself and maybe others have this connotation with something being hard, and it's like you don't want to do it. But the Lord uses those hard things in our life to grow us and to make us stronger, to continue taking those steps of faith. I'm going to use a little example, which I think is totally appropriate, that she would not think this was bad at all. But my daughter, Evie, 5, in swim lessons, and in the very beginning she was kind of struggling with it, and it felt hard. She was scared to put her face in the water and nervous to jump in the water, all these different things. It was hard. But each step that she took in bravery and in courage, and she put her face in a little bit more and put her face in a little bit more, and she got more comfortable blowing bubbles, and took that step of faith and jumped in the water, and she had fun, and she would smile, and she would come up and she would do this victory pose, and she was so proud of herself. And then she was scared, and it was hard at first, but then she got some courage and she did it, and then next time it was easier. And I think that's a perfect visual example of our own lives that we're in. Just because something is hard does not mean it's bad. See it as an area where the Lord is growing you and shaping you and molding you. We're never going to be done in life. We're not going to be like, oh, I've done that and I got it, I'm good to go. We're going to constantly be challenging and growing and changing and getting better. So I just want to encourage you with that. I have so many friends that are new in this homeschooling journey, and I see them and they're rocking it. And I'm so proud of you. I just want to keep encouraging you from the sidelines. And if no one has told you, I'm proud of you. You're doing so good, and just keep what you're doing. Take one step in front of the other in faith, and the Lord sees what you're doing. And I'm proud of you, and I know the Lord's proud of you too. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.